going to do this. We have 4 very, very talented artists, and then me and Jeremiah. So what we're going to do is we are going to ask these artists to draw something about Fandom Fest and some suggestion that we're going to get from you in a moment. All right? So they're going to have 10, 15 minutes, depending on how much time we need to kill. And while they're drawing, I'm going to assault them with questions, real, deep, dark stuff like, is a hot dog a sandwich or no? Oh wow, there was some fire on the top. That wasn't even an option, but I'm giving you credit. That was great. Okay, so I'm going to start by welcoming our guests. All of these artists are extremely talented, extremely successful in what they have done and what they do. We are incredibly lucky to get a talent like this. So we are going to start with Mr. Bart Sears. And Bart Sears. Can you brag about yourself for a couple? What's some of the things that you've done?
Let's see. I've been drawing comics for about 40 years now. I've done Justice League. I've done some Legends of the Dark Knight, Exo, Blade. I don't know, a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so, you know, Marvel and DC stuff, no big deal. All right, great. So Bart Sears, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, Mr. Doug Hills. Doug, come on. And Doug, can you brag about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I have been drawing now for 30 years or so. I've been commercially doing it for 20. Do stuff for Tops, for World Wrestling Entertainment, various indie comics and stuff. And
Excellent. And Doug is local.
And I am local.
Yeah. Mostly because I want them to bicker like siblings, I've decided to put on this side of the table the Arthur brothers. We're going to start with Rick Arthur. Come on down, Rick Arthur. All right, now Rick, listen, the panel only goes for a half hour, 45 minutes, but go ahead, brag about yourself.
My name is Rick Arthur. I'm primarily a cartoonist, but I do a whole bunch of different things. In cartooning, also mainly known for working on a small little tiny thing called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I actually just finished a story for them that is at the printers that very few people have seen. So if you get a chance, I can preview it down at my table. So, like 50 people have seen it. Like it's fresh new and it doesn't even have all the copies on there. But it's there for people.
Excellent. Thank you, Rick. And finally, Rick's younger brother. Right, yes.
Much younger.
You will notice, you know, I was really going to lean into like trying to make these brothers fight. I was going to talk about hair, but I'm not going to do that. Doug Arthur, come on down. And Doug, would you brag about yourself, please?
It's hard to do, but I'm kind of the outlier here. I am an independent cartoonist. I started doing a comic strip about 35 years ago when I lived out in Buffalo. And I started self-publishing in 1995, and I just published my 16th book, first hardcover book. It's on display downstairs. You can come check it out. And I do a lot of humor mostly, movie parodies and that kind of stuff. Sometimes I do some autobiographical stories. And eventually I'll finish my graphic novel that I started in 2015. But, you know, we'll get there.
Excellent. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, artists. So, let me tell you how this is going to work. These 4 gentlemen are going to draw something for us, as I said. At the end of the event and through the rest of Fandom Fest until about 5 o'clock tomorrow, we are going to let the patrons of Fandom Fest vote on which illustration, which drawing they like the best. Each time you vote, it's going to cost you $1 to the charity of the artist's choice. So every time you vote, we donate to the charity. The charity that wins gets $100 kicked in on top of all of the other votes. So we're going to start with Bart. Can you tell us about your charity?
My charity is the Hero Initiative, which helps out old and aging comic and cartoonists, artists, and writers that have fallen on hard times.
And Doug.
Make-A-Wish of Northeastern New York.
Excellent. Make-A-Wish is fantastic. And Rick.
So we actually ended up picking the same one, but you can talk.
But they're different links. They're different. So we're going to know which brother wins if it comes down.
Not compete. So it's the Charles Patrick Arthur Endowment at Metropolitan College in Minnesota. Our father, passed away fairly recently and set up this endowment to help support kids who are first in their family to go to school. Education was extremely important to my dad. I'm 1 out of 7. Doug is 1 out of 7. All 7 of us got a chance to go to school. It was really important to my dad. There were tons of sacrifices. So it's kind of a
The scholarship helps students not who are just first-time members of their family to go, but also military, married. Our dad was all of us. Our dad was married and had kids and went to college and was a former military person. So he's a non-traditional student. He's not, 18 years old going to college. He was, in his 20s and already, already had a family going. And so our aunt is actually the president of Metropolitan State University in Minnesota, and that's how she started the endowment. They just started doing scholarships. The fund reached its goal, and they're starting to do scholarships already.
Awesome.
So it's already started to help students.
So downstairs near what's usually our box office, but for Fandom Fest is the info desk, we are going to have QR codes, and we're going to have the drawings, the illustrations posted there. So you can go, you can scan the QR code, you can make a gift, you can donate $1, you can donate $100, however many votes you want to vote, you vote. So, as I said, the overarching idea here is Fandom Fest. So that's topic 1. Now I need a recommendation from our audience. What is the other piece of this drawing? Fandom Fest and
Dragons.
sword fighting. What? I heard sword fighting. What? No one else? Sands?
Dragons.
Dragons?
Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I heard you. I'm sorry. I heard Dungeons and Dragons. And what was the other one?
It was me, Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons. Anything else? What else we got? Skyrim. Apocalypse.
Shonen anime.
Teenage Mutant. Well, that feels like a cheat for Rick Arthur if we do that.
Actually, I taught my brother how to draw the turtles.
All right. Wow. All right.
Hot air balloon.
Ooh, hot air balloons is just kind of random enough to even the playing field. You know what? Go ahead.
Was it Star Wars?
Star Wars. Okay. Pikachu. All right. So how about?
Fandom Fest with Michael McCord as a superhero.
Oh no. Fandom Fest with me as a superhero seems like something that I don't want to see. Yeah. Okay, so how about that? All right, so I will put that on the list. All right, so what do we think about applause for Dungeons and Dragons? What do we think about hot air balloons? All right, okay. What do we think about me as a superhero? This backfired. What was someone else? I need another right. Sans Undertale? I don't know what Sans Undertale is. I'm sorry. That was why I wasn't sure. Sans Undertale? All right. Okay. All right. Because because I just want my suffering to end, we will do, I guess, me as a superhero.
You know this means you're going to have to pose for it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay on this table. Okay, so as we are asking these questions, or sorry, as you are drawing, I'm going to be asking questions. I'm looking for the timer on my phone. Excuse me. Okay, so as they are drawing, we are going to be asking questions. So we will give these gentlemen, where's my thing? 15 minutes. How about that? 15 minutes starting. If your topic is Fandom Fest and me as a superhero, starting 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So now I have to come up with and where's Jeremiah? Jeremiah, I'll see you. Came up with some good questions. Jeremiah, I'm gonna let you start. What's the first question? We're gonna start with Doug Arthur. What is the first question for Doug Arthur?
Doug, if you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Right now, the Invisible Woman, probably. I could disappear. Yeah, that's probably. Invisibility is actually was probably one of the first things I remember thinking about back when we were kids. Probably because we had such a big family, and it was, we just wanted to disappear sometimes. But,
I didn't know that.
the older brother. That's nice worse.
I would like to object to the size of the head that Doug.
I'm going with the hot air balloon theme.
Oh, same thing. All right, I want to hear the same question. Rick Arthur, same question. If you could be a superhero, who would you be? Sorry, I'm happy to pose.
I've always been partial.
No.
Should I turn? I've always really liked different superheroes. When I was a kid, I wanted to be the Hulk. When I was a kid and I didn't know any better, I wanted to be Wonder Woman because she had like cool powers and an invisible jet. But I didn't realize that wasn't going to happen. Iron Man was always a favorite. But now that I'm a little older, I'm like, I like the Hulk.
Joke's on you, Rick. All right, Doug Hills, what superhero did you want to be?
I didn't want to be a superhero. I wanted to be a Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
Growing up, that was like,
Yeah, thank you.
though I was really not. I wanted
Yeah.
to be, but I was really not.
Sure. And Bart, what about you? What superhero would you want to be? Batman. Okay. Excellent. I want to ask. I'm going to ask. We'll start with Bart. Bart, what is your favorite character that you've drawn? Any of your books, any of the work you've done? What's the favorite character you've had? Blade. Can you tell me why? Okay. Very cool. All right. Doug Hills, what about you? Your favorite character or thing that you've worked on?
Brian's gonna laugh. But the answer is the X-Men.
Okay.
I got to finally draw him officially for the first time, like last year for Tops. And the X-Men were what got me into comics way back in the day, like when the cartoon came out. And then another friend of mine was like, "Cool, you should read these comics." Okay. And that's what kind of like set me down that path. And so the chance to finally draw the X-Men and Gambit in particular was my favorite. Gambit was like.
Very cool. Very cool. Rick, your favorite.
Can't hear you on drawing.
Can you? And listen, we're already at 11 minutes and 35 seconds left.
Let's see. Question?
The question was your favorite, the favorite thing you've drawn, favorite project you've worked on.
Can I use a lifeline?
Sure.
So one of my favorite things that I've had a chance to draw was Batman. Really early in my career, I did some art creations for Dark Knight archives. That was fun. Wash tubs by Milk and Ink. I also did some production work for that, and I really enjoyed that a lot. People probably aren't familiar with that. My most favorite character is probably Raphael from.
Doug Arthur and I were friends until this started. And Doug Arthur, your favorite project that you have worked on, your favorite thing you've drawn, favorite thing, what is it?
Well, because I'm more of a parodist and so on, I get to draw lots of different things. Probably one of the favorite things that I've done is I did a comic strip based on one of my favorite musicians, Robert Fripp. He's a guitarist for a band called King Crimson, but he's also worked with David Bowie, Talking Heads, a whole bunch. And I actually bumped into him in the Apple Store, believe it or not, way back when. And it just kind of inspired me. I had this idea to draw him as an action hero, because most people that know who he is don't realize that he's a big fan of action movies. So I drew him as an action hero, and I sent this cartoon off to the website, the King Crimson website, and about 3 weeks later I got an email from him, and he wanted the original artwork, and he was just a big fan, and he's invited me to do a few shows. And it just kind of never expected anything like that to ever happen to me.
Right.
And we still email from time to time, so it's really exciting to have. That's probably my favorite thing.
Awesome.
Sketch.
We have 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. Rick, Arthur, can you tell us a clean joke?
No, I actually can't.
Okay, that's fair.
They all kind of turn. Sure. Not anymore.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll tell you a joke because Rick doesn't have one. What do you call a monkey with a grenade? A baboom! Thank you very much. Learned that from an Irishman in Ireland. Doug Hills, do you have a joke for us that's clean for the room?
Yeah, we ran walking to a bar before timed up.
Oh! Bart, do you have any jokes? Okay. That was very, very clearly stated. I can't think of a single clean joke now myself. What's that? Go ahead. What kind of
The C is for cookie.
Very good. Yes, exactly. That's excellent. Thank you for that. Okay. Let's see. Bart, if you were not an artist, what would you have been? What career do you think you would have found yourself in?
Not an artist.
Yes.
I probably would have been
A builder. Okay. Was that in your family, or was that in your Excellent. Very cool. Thank you very much, sir. Doug Hills, if you were not an artist, what would you do? What would your job be, your career?
Pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling. Okay.
What would be your name?
All right.
My ring name was Ethan Frost.
Hey, don't mess with Doug Hills. It's so body slamming. Rick Arthur, if you were going to be something that's not an artist, what would you be? What would your career be?
Dishwasher?
Fair.
If you're not an artist, you got to have some kind of work.
That's right. And Doug, what about you?
My dream job was always to be a filmmaker, but I didn't live in Los Angeles, so that didn't really happen. But I like drawing comics because it's kind of like making your own little movies on paper. You get a lot more control, and you don't have to worry about the budget quite so much.
Everything. All right. Doug Arthur, I'm going to ask you the next one. So we have 6 minutes left exactly. Okay. 6 minutes left. Doug Arthur, what would be your #1 hobby that has nothing to do with art? Sure. Sorry, yes, I'm visual art. So another art can be a hobby, yes.
Yes, music is my other hobby.
And what do you play?
The computer.
Nice.
No, I do play some keyboards, but usually through the computer.
Very cool.
I have about 30 albums out.
Really?
Yeah.
Doug Arthur, where can we find your albums?
Everywhere. They're on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere.
Excellent.
Yeah, I use a company called DistroKid, and they shoot it out to everything.
Very cool. All right. Rick, what about you? What's your hobby that's not visual art?
Writing. So I actually am working in society, all the other stuff that I'm working on. I got a novel cooking. I have a writing partner in Maine, and he has dyslexia. So when I first heard from him, like, hey, you know, you wanted to be a writer, I was really like cringing to open up manuscript from him. In the first 27 pages, he made a lot of mistakes, and after that, it was flawless. He had a method of writing which corrected a lot of issues that he may have had with dyslexia. And I always wanted to work with him, and found an opportunity that we can go back and forth and work together. Writing.
Excellent. Good answer. Doug Hills, your hobby that's not, let's not professional wrestling and is not visual art. Sure. What's your go-to video game?
I go to the new Ninja Turtle games.
Oh.
I'm a fan of the old arcade, like Ninja Turtle arcade games.
I think I know a guy who worked on some of those Ninja Turtle comics. And Mr. Sears, what about you? What's your go-to hobby that's not visual art? Video games. Video games. And what's your game of choice?
Last of Us.
Oh. Did you like the series? Did you watch the TV series? Yeah. Is it all right? All right, good. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. All right, so we have 3.5 minutes left. It is a long 15 minutes, yes. You have any. Oh. All right, so I'm going to the last one. I want to know your thoughts. Doug Arthur, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Why?
Because.
You can't refute that logic. Rick, what about you?
No, a hot dog is not a sandwich. But a hot dog in a bun?
Okay. So there's always that. Rick Arthur was definitely that kid in class that the teacher was like, hey, you said it.
It was like that at home.
Doug Hills, is a hot dog a sandwich?
See, someone already took my answer. No, we talked about it.
Oh, well, that's a good one. We will accept that a second time. Mr. Sears, what do you think? Nope. No. Bart Sears about a few words, but definitive words. Definitive.
I think a hot dog is a roll sandwich.
A roll sandwich. All right. Okay. All right. Can I just, if you believe a hot dog is a sandwich, can I get a round of applause for a hot dog is a sandwich? Round of applause. A hot dog is not a sandwich. I think that in this room, we're going to have to go with not a sandwich. It's a democracy here at Fandom Fest, so thank you very much. All right, so we are down to the last minute and a half, minute 45 seconds. I have so many questions. All right, so I'm going to do this. Hi, this is me. Remember what I look like? Okay. Let me just ask one final question. So I asked, is everyone having a good time at Fandom Fest?
Yeah.
We are really, really grateful that you guys came here. This is our second year. We are very grateful that you came. If you came back, we are especially grateful that you came back. We hope that you will come back next year as well, where we're going to try to do even more cool stuff like we're doing this year. All right, down to the last minute. Who would like to share with your favorite bit of Fandom Fest so far?
Costume contest.
The fans.
Sketch off.
The sketch off. Off, that's the good, that's the right answer, right? The Sketch Off is better than this, right? Yes, sir?
The arcade.
The arcade. Who has played in the arcade? Excellent, excellent, we're glad. Okay,
The
all right.
signature drinks are pretty good.
The drinks are pretty good. I have been told by a patron, if you are of age and you would like to try the sandworm sangria, there's a gummy worm that I'm told slaps. That I have heard. All right. It looks like our artists have finished with 15 seconds to spare. All right. So here I am to show you the original artwork can be used, sir. We can swap places. Okay. So, oh yes, done. Thank you. All right. So, Doug Arthur, will you tell us about?
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
I mean, obviously.
Yes, I envisioned you as a masked, kind of robotic superhero.
Is this like a mask like Iron Man or like Man in the Iron Mask? Like, am I in prison and I'm in a mask?
But I also incorporated the balloon idea.
Excellent.
Also the sword fighting, and the D&D with the arrows.
Schenectady.
Yeah, trying to incorporate all the ideas because I think
There it is. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doug Arthur. Thank you very much.
Can you hold that
Okay, and Rick Arthur. Oh my gosh, I look wonderful.
I didn't have any purple, so
Fair.
a little bit lacking in the color. Usually heroes will have color coding, tells you what.
Right.
So Mike is basically on top of the marquee, looking out over his domain, cape flowing in the wind. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a McCord.
Are any of my coworkers here right now? It's really not going to go well for me on Monday. Thank you, Rick Arthur.
It's a little harder to see in the back. Could we hold up the last two?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, the post gets in the way for the other.
All right, and Doug Hills, what do you got?
I've just got a white and a, let's pretend this is red balloon with a person just shocked. Let's see a flying Michael McCord.
Yeah, no one more shocked than Mike McCord. Thank you, Doug Hills. Thank you. And Bart Sears. Oh my God, I'm huge.
I see you as a very heroic individual.
That's a lie. But thank you, sir.
Stand up here for this. And I miscalculated my time, so beyond making you a full superhero, I gave you a mini-me split off.
Actually, my son will be thrilled.
And these are the cameras taking your picture.
Oh! All right, thank you, Bart Sears. All right, so here's your task. In the next hour or so, we're going to get these original sketches down to the info desk, which is directly below us. Excuse me. We're going to have QR codes there where you can scan or you can go to the link. So the link, it's a funny link. The link is givebutter.com/the artist name. So givebutter.com/Doug Arthur, Rick Arthur, one word, all one word. Doug Hills, one word, or Bart Sears, one word. So if you go to givebutter.com/the artist name, you can vote for your favorite sketch and support some really great charities at the same time. If there are other folks around Fandom, you can bend there and tell them about it. Tell everybody about it. We are very grateful that you decided to come out to support these charities, support these artists, to support Fandom Fest and the arts in the Capital Region. So thank you so much. And we'll see you at the next thing. Thank you very much.